Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Big Bad Bench. My name is John, aka Big Bad Biologist. Today, we are going to work on something that I've never worked on before. Kaypro II. Look at this. Look at this pretty guy. Let's go to here. Look at this. Is this not one of the coolest logos in all of vintage computing? Gotta love the color, the gray. Everything looks a little yellow today for some reason, but this is a nice gray color. You get this blue. And just what a pretty computer this is. So let's turn this around. I'll show you what we're working with. So on the front, when you're just looking at it, it looks like it's just a blue thing. This one has a little bit of scratching. It's okay. There's feet on the back. What do we got on the back? We got a little cable organizer. You can wrap your power cable around. We got our power switch. Got a reset, got a parallel printer port, a serial port, and a serial port, and our keyboard connector. This is a handset type connector. I believe, yeah, this is flipped, so this is a regular handset connector. Do not use a Mac, like a Mac Plus 128 keyboard cable. That's different. So you can use a regular handset connector on these. We've got a brightness knob. So not a whole lot going on here. So let's flip it back and here like this. Oh, on the side, there's also this little latch there and a latch there. And then if you unlatch your latches, pop, pop, keyboard comes out the front. Look at this keyboard. Look at this. Brushed aluminum. Got some black keys. We got these beautiful teal kind of color keys. The Kaypro logo. This is where it was purchased originally. Bennington, Vermont. Nest Tech. Very cool. Set that aside for just a second. Let's show you the front of this thing. And we got this that's on the CRT. That was falling through, so let's set that aside. So we got our green CRT. We got 2 floppy drives and power light. And if we look at that CRT, you can see this thing has some burn-in. This thing got some use. And so we're gonna try to get this thing working today. It was sold to me as dead. So as I say hi to folks in the chat, look at this. We got some stuff that came along with it. Okay, got some disc tidies. We got a disc holder. This original envelope that's empty. Oh, let me show you 2 other things that came with it. This is very cool. Boop and boop. All right, so let's say hi to folks in the chat. We got Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. We got Francois Rival. We got Jean-Francois Paris. I hope I said that right. Welcome. All Things DG. Trina's Techno Babble. Gut Bomb. Tech Knight. Hello, Tech Knight. Socket Wench. Hello. I think I said hi to everyone. Did you get this computer from someone throwing it off a bridge? Ouch, man. Ouch. What the heck? Gut Bomb says, down with AI. Yeah, so, you know, I'm doing the AI thing sort of tongue-in-cheek. Because one, I'm also interested in what it actually would do. But also, I don't think it's going to be a great resource for us. But why not? Well, let's just try it. Hey, Joe's Computer Museum. Good morning. It is early for you. But yeah, we got to get moving because Dave's Vintage Apple Tech starts at 9 or at 11. So we got to get out of here before he gets started. So this thing came with it. So this is a Brother IF50. I did Google this thing. And basically what this lets you do is you can connect up to your serial port, and this will connect to certain Brother word processors, and it will let you use those word processors as a printer. How neat is that? That is neat. Look at this guy. Signalman, Anchor, Automation. This is a modem. So, this Kaypro II was connected to the information superhighway of the day. So that's very cool. We got a bunch of documentation. The perfect manual for the Kaypro II. This is Kaypro II. Mine is digit 2 as opposed to Roman numeral 2, so it's not quite right, but it's close enough. There is stuff in here. That's Oki data, so that would be for a printer that didn't come with it. This looks like that's for a keyboard for a IBM compatible, so that's not it. Oh, look, there's something for the instructions for the modem, software, Rocky Mountain software systems, getting started with new word for Kaypro computers. There we go. There's some. Oh, look at this. Business communication software for the Kaypro. Wow. Oh. I missed that Simpsons reference. Oh my God, I'm slipping. I'm missing a Simpsons reference. So where did I get this? So this was posted on Facebook Marketplace. Nice CPM thing. Random House proofreader. Word processing on the Kaypro. This is a manual for MS-DOS basic. Yeah, that's not for that. Kaypro CPM. Introduction to WordStar. It's the main word processor for these. So some good documentation for this guy. So that's for people that like documentation, that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll send this off to Steve. Maybe I wish I never got rid of my Sperry luggable as I had it as a kid. Yeah, this thing is definitely luggable. It's not as bad as some, but yeah. So this was posted on Facebook Marketplace. It was posted as non-working, and I paid $50 for it. CPM perfect writer. Okay. Master CPM disk and master disk. Okay. So the person I bought it from said that his dad used this thing for years to run a newspaper. And so I think there's probably some cool stuff on here. And ideally, what I would really love to do is offload as much of this stuff as possible and get this back to the family. So like, if this is really this person's memoirs, I would really love to get that back to the family. So we're gonna do what we can to get this working. So that looks like some useful stuff. Where did that other one go? Let's keep one of these out. Gonna need something to boot with. I think we might be able to boot with that. So, well, if we get it to turn on. So these things have a Z80 processor and 64K of RAM. So, we're not dealing with a very complicated computer. So I'm holding out hope that we can get this thing doing something. There's New Word, original software. That's very cool. In a thing, proofreader, AI for the day. There we go. Random House Dictionary, 1982. How cool is that? Perfect speller. Looks like networking, net worth. Oh, maybe that's money management software or something for it. WordStar, Perfect Calc. There we go. That's cool. Profit plan. Perfect Filer. So it seems like I'm going to have to do some research. Oh, there's a more formal WordStar disk. Oh, look at this. Yeah, look at that. Business communication or business computer network telecommunication software for the signalman. We're going to have to do with, oh look, there's that. I'm going to have to connect to the network that Adrian made last weekend. Do some dial-in. So that's what we got, and then also the little keyboard template thing for Perfect Writer, so we could be very efficient at our writing. But that's some cool stuff. So yeah, supposedly it's dead, and with, you know, old computers, what do we do with them? We always just power them up and send it. Is that what we do with our old computers? Well, if we're certain people, yes, that's what we would do. That's not what we do here at the BigBadBench, so we got to take it apart. We were burned with that that Commodore because it was just powering it up, and it did a lot of damage. We got a lot of broken chips on that Commodore. So we are not going to just power it up. We are going to pop it open. Yes, Dave, that is correct. We got to pop it open, see what's in here. Supposedly, even without ChatGPT, and I don't think ChatGPT mentioned it, this thing has Rifa caps. I did watch Rudy's Retro Intel video about these things. He made a video about using a Floppy emulator on it, which was very cool. So these are steel screws. They're not rusted, so that's good. I think the case is made out of aluminum, so it's not as heavy as a lot of these things would be. So we definitely don't want Rifa explosion happening. Okay. So we've got 2 countersunks in the top, 4 regular screws on each side. And is that all? Do we have more screws? Yep, that's it. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely aluminum. Okay. Set you aside for a moment there, case. Uh-oh. Our cover's off. We're going to lose all of our proms. So the good news is that it doesn't look bad in here. There's some weirdness. There's some white kind of stuff on things. The bad news. Oh. Garth Beagle says, hello, Garth. Which came first, the Kaypro II or what? And so I think the Kaypro Roman numeral 2 was the first one, and then the Kaypro digit 2 was the second one. All right, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but so these are, so we can see we have 8 chips here, and we know this is 64K of RAM, so that means that these are 4164. And we can see that they're MOSTech labeled. I don't know if you can actually see that. Can you see it if I do this? There we go. So those are MOSTech RAM chips. And so most likely, I would say that our RAM is the issue. Let's look at the side. Everything looks kind of clean. This is kind of weird. There's 2 wires going to the anode cap. That's a weird one. Okay. Oh, yep, and there's definitely Rifas in there. Okay. So how the heck did we get inside this dealie? I think what we're gonna have to do. Yeah, this is relatively clean. If we didn't have Rifas, I'd say let's just crank it, but we have Rifas, so we are gonna do this the right way. Sorry, everyone. I know you love it when stuff explodes, but when we know things are gonna explode, we try to not have them explode. Yeah, this looks, there's weird coloration on here. So why are there so many empty sockets, and what is this? And so I think that the next revision of this, and I've only watched a few videos and done some research, so I'm definitely not a Kaypro expert, but I think that there was a version of this that has a hard drive, and that this one theoretically was getting ready to have the hard drive in it. And I think it might even be possible to add the whatnots that you need to turn this into a model that has a hard drive. Hey, Richard Waters, welcome. Yeah, the sticker fell off of the ROM chip. So we're currently erasing our ROM. It is an EEPROM, which is nice. So that means that we could replace that relatively easily. Trina says we like watching me respond when things explode. That's fine, you know. I am sometimes emotive, other times not so much. And apparently I've lost some of my Phillips head screwdrivers. So I'm currently just taking the screws off of the back. Holy number of blue usernames. Everyone's a mod. Everyone. Do you want to be a mod, Tech Knight? You need to have mod status to post links. So if anyone wants to post links, you just gotta ask me. Oh, screwdriver. Oh, my screwdriver the back thing just fell off. Come on. I thought we were gonna have a nice, easy stream today. Nice early morning. I really like watching Eric's Edge's early morning streams. He's so cranky in the morning, and it's really lovely. Okay, what do we got here? We got some sort of bracket. Tom Barber. Wow. Oh, Tom, you are not going to be a mod. I don't trust the links that you would post in my chat. Yeah, so this is relatively clean. There's some weird, like there's weird colorations. I guess it could just be really old flux. I don't know. All right, so now we got to get to this guy. And it looks like we got 4 more standoffs. Man, everything looks reasonably clean in here. I am not used to seeing computers this clean. This is great. Is this what it's like when other people buy computers? So I'm gonna unscrew these 4 from the back. It's probably the wrong way to do it, but whatever. Love these giant standoffs. It's like a tower. I guess they don't really care about EMI. Like, I would think having a computer board right under or right over top of the CRT, you would think there would be a lot of EMI there. I guess they don't care. Okay, so there's some kind of an edge connector there that catches that. Oh, there is a dead spider. There is a little dead spider. What do we got here? Trina says I should watch her stream from yesterday. Was it very cool? Did you have a dead spider in your... Press F to pay spider respects. All right, so I haven't gotten to the point with ChatGPT yet here. And actually, while I'm taking this apart, you can all read my ChatGPT log. So there we go. And, you know, folks that are pro ChatGPT are going to get on my case that I didn't give it a good response. I'm not going to change my response because I don't think that it's worth the energy, the electricity to ask it to do a thing. So my prompt is, if I have a Kaypro II computer that fails to boot, which chips on the motherboard are most likely the cause? And so first it says CPU, then we say ROM chip, and it says that's U47. We'll double check to see what numbers those things are. So then we got ROM. Then what else we got? We got that RAM chips after that. Then look at the clock. And then, I like that it actually told me about this, the power issues, because this is the first thing you should check. Whenever you have an old computer that's not doing anything, you should check for power issues. But with my, with the way I phrased my prompt, you know, I asked about chips, and so, you know, it focused on chips, but I'm actually impressed that it gave me power issues. The thing that is a little weird is that it calls the CPU U47, and then it calls the ROM chips U47. So we'll see what this thing actually is once we get back to this. Okay, so this is now out. We have 3 Rifas. They actually look in really good shape. Oh no, they're pretty cracked. All right, so while we wait for my desoldering station. Oh, I just saw the back of this. There's a giant copper pad on the back of this, so that's probably shielding some of the EMI. So let's see, U47. Okay, so U43 is our CPU. U34 is our ROM. What is U47? U47 on this model is a RAM chip. So, yeah, I got the numbers a little bit wrong, but it knew that it should have numbers. So there we go. Our CPU is socketed, so theoretically we could give this a reseat. Giga Chad GPT. All right. So we gotta get these Rifas out. We also gotta find some 47 picofarad, 4,700 picofarad. What are they? Yeah, they're Y caps. So what do we got? There we go. We got some. We got some. We're ready to go. Yeah, I think the overall advice was fine. I think the issue is that if you were a noob, and you know, I don't mean to use noob disparagingly, but if you're a new user and you go and you check ChatGPT, and it tells you to look for a chip named something, and that's not really the name of that chip, then you know it's going to be a little bit confusing for that new user. Okay, one out. Set that aside. Hey, everything is broken garage. Good morning. Kristen Solstad. I'm not gonna make random people mods. I apologize. If I know you, and I know, that's why I know Tom Barber is not allowed to be a mod. There is some kind of a weird coating on the back of this that's sort of preventing nice solder flow. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. This one's a little cranky. Tom Barber says I'm innocent. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Boop. And boop. Okay. Set you aside again. Let's look at these. So if your Rifas blow, you can get your circuit breaker, or if you have a whatchamacallit, ground fault interrupt, they will often break, or pop. These are pretty cracked. These would, see the nice big crack in there? Oh yeah. Tech just had a really good video on restoring PowerBook Duo 230. Definitely want to check that out. Some good stuff in there. Lots of really good tips about just general repair, but also like once you have your repair done, what kind of stuff, how to install software and stuff like that. Just final note, I am replacing it with Rifas, but these are polymer film caps, so they are less likely to do that cracky job than the others. And these are perfect size, they fit in. Just make sure if you do these, if you have X caps, you want to replace them with X caps. If you have Y caps, you want to replace them with Y caps. Yes, lots of people that are here are familiar with Rifa. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate the heck out of you. And if you wouldn't mind, if you could hit that like button, that would be swell. Even if you don't, I still think you're swell. How about that? We're using giant iron and giant solder for this job. Oh, I let go of the cap before the solder cooled, so it fell. Okay. Ooh. Probably shouldn't use the CRT neck as a table. We're almost done. That is a tip that you get here at the BigBadBench. Don't use your CRT necks as tables. High quality advice that you will not get from other folks. And I don't think I said hi to you, my left. Hello, my left. Ooh, police are doing things. There is some discoloration here on the back of this PCB, but it's directly under this resistor, so I think that's perfectly normal. It's probably okay. Okay, so that's that. So now we got to put this back together. Oh, so much to reassemble. Okay, so there was this little, I left this intact. This is highly technical, using the zip tie in such a way. That's a really good point, Richard Waters. So while you have the soldering iron out, look for cracks, right? We're used to looking for cracks on our Mac analog boards. These all look really nice. Oh, that one's a little wonky. Let's give it some love. Oh, that one might not have even been plugged in. Yeah, let's give it a little reflow there. I think this one went there. So just a heads up, how old is this computer? This computer is from 1982. Okay. This first pin is not used, so I have that one. I think we'll hit these other ones real quick. So we'll give this guy a little reflow. The coating that they're using is a little bit, gets in my way. I think what I need to do is just give each of these a little bit of a scrape. Oh yeah. So it looks like what they did was they flowed the whole board and then coated it. So that is annoying. But I guess if you have a luggable, it's a good idea to try to keep it as waterproof as possible. There is a vent back here right on the other side of this, so I guess it makes sense. So it's good planning. It's bad for working on it, or slightly annoying to work on it, but just doing a little reflow. Oop. It was really just these top ones that look like they could maybe just use a little touching up. Okay. Yes, I'm on the neck again. Okay. So we're good here. Put this down in here. I like to live on the edge, even on the edge of a CRT neck. Don't do what I do. How many times have I told people here at the BigBadBench, do not do what you see me do? I'm an idiot. So don't ever do what we do here. Probably shouldn't even watch this. Want to make sure we do this correct. Put those zip ties on there just as they were. Yeah, it would go easier if it were outside the case, but we're doing a rush job here. So I got kind of sick of listening to Gutbomb talk about his grease weasel. So I bought one partially for this project because I think it would be a lot easier to back up these floppies on a different computer and potentially just use, I think there's software that lets you convert WordStar files into regular text files. Okay, that's connected. That's good. We're just left with that and that. Boop. That's everything connected. Oh yeah, there's a GUI for the grease weasel. That's nice, because as we've established, I'm not all that smart. So the whole command line interface thing was very intimidating. All right, I probably don't need to put all of these screws in. I'm just going to put a couple. Because I have a feeling we might need to take some other stuff back out. WizKid Ezzy, hello, welcome. Yes. It is fun fiddling around with old hardware. Okay, I think that's good enough for us to try to power this thing on. I don't feel like I'm going to get Rifa bombed in my face. So let's do this. Keyboard. Let's set our keyboard down over here. Oh, we got everything plugged in before I power this up. I think we're pretty good to go. Where is my multimeter? I'm gonna want to look at some voltages, I'm sure. Okay. All right, so we're gonna have our electricity off. That is currently off. Okay, we're gonna switch on the back. Oh, we gotta zoom out a little bit. We want to be able to see the whole frame here in case something explodes. Let's get ready for voltage. Okay, power switch on. There's a reset. Oh, that's just a reset button. That's not like a fuse reset. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. I think I hear a floppy drive spinning. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, this is anticlimactic. But look at that. That is funny. This thing is not dead. What the heck? All right. Let's go back to here. Let's check some voltages just to be safe. We all wanted that boom. Come on. There we go. I don't know where all the proper locations are for this, but I imagine that is probably going to be a ground, and that's going to be a thing. Nope. Okay. There's 5 volts. Negative 6.6 volts. That's not ominous. That's 17 volts. All right, we got to figure out what ground is on this. All right, let's go to ground. Okay, here we go. 5 volts. Nada. 11.63. That's a little low, but that's okay. Negative 12. And nada. Okay. All right. Well, darn it, ChatGPT. We wanted to test you out, but whatever. All right. So now we need to figure out how to get this thing to boot. Let's try this one. Oh, listen to that spin. Oh, My left says ask ChatGPT what to do next. When it automatically works, what do you do? We're not used to computers working here at the Big Bad Bench. There we go. Sorry, it's a little flickery. Cannot read my diskette. Okay. Let's try a more different diskette. We have a whole pile of them. Ooh. This one says Master Word Star. Cannot read your diskette. Yeah, the diskette might be a little, the disk drive might be wonky. Try this perfect calc. Oh man, we got angry disks. I'm smelling a little bit of, I don't know what I'm smelling. Yeah, I'm looking at the discs real quick to make sure they're not moldy. Some of them don't look real great. I don't hear the heads moving, so we might have a situation where the lubrication is sort of turned into glue. Yeah, I have a feeling this is a drive issue and not a disk issue. So let's yeah, oh, well, let's try. I thought I had one that said CPM. Let's try one that says CPM, because I thought the disks could boot themselves if they were a specific program, but maybe I'm wrong. I totally am a noob here at these things. Oh, I thought the first one, yeah, oh, but maybe it was on the back? Okay. So we want CPM, right? CPM is our thing. But I did only try the first side. I did not try the second side. Oh. So it hasn't given us an error message yet. It's not doing a whole lot. Maybe it just takes a while. It's spinning. The light is on. Let it think. Yeah, we'll let it think. While it's thinking, I'm going to go grab a piece of tape. Oh, actually, I got tape right here. Just because that ROM is sitting out there all naked. Yeah, I think our disk is not real happy. All right, let's go back to this. Sorry, I put a piece of tape on the ROM. All right, let's pull this drive out. Oh, we're gonna have to take that board back out. I think we are. Set you aside. What time is it? We can't go too long. We got to make sure that we're done before Dave's Vintage Apple Tech stream starts. Okay. Let's unplug this. And of course, okay. All right, so we got screws there, and we got screws there. And I think to get to this thing, we're gonna have to take out the motherboard again. That's why we didn't put all the screws back into the motherboard. All right, I can't believe that thing powered up. Oh my God, that is silly. Well, I'm sorry, folks. I really hate it when we have working computers here. I like broken computers. So even though that screen had some burn-in, it still seemed pretty sharp. That's exciting. I was worried that CRT was going to be fried. I mean, there's not a ton of soot. There's not, you know, a ton of soot on the back here, so that kind of hinted that it might be not super fried, but I guess whatever they were doing, they just left that screen on there. Okay. This is going to be a little bit difficult. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, you should definitely not be doing this right now. We just had a CRT plugged in and on. You really don't want to be messing around inside of a system with a CRT while it was just on. Just want to be careful. That screw's tight. Okay, that one's good. There we go. Okay, that one's off. Yeah, like Whiz Kid Eddie. This was the this fell out of it. It was probably attached right there. So yeah, I'm gonna be careful about X-rays and high voltages. This CRT is only probably 9 kilovolts or so. So it's not that bad. Oh, is there like another way? Oh, I think we can take the whole bottom cage off. Okay. And that should make it a little bit easier to access those. So there's screws down here, and I think that's gonna get rid of that whole cage. Of course, you want to be real careful now, because that's gonna want to fall. We're gonna have another chance to break our CRT. Okay. Yep. People really liked their grounding straps on their floppies back in the 80s. So I found this computer on Facebook Marketplace. It's where I find most of my bad computers. Hey, it's Mac84, Steve. Hello, good morning. Okay, so this does not have a twist. That means that the floppy drives are configured by jumpers that are on them. Oh, nope. That doesn't help us a whole lot because the fronts of the floppies are bigger than the opening, so that means I cannot move it. Oh, this only helped us ever so slightly. So now I need a tiny screwdriver that can fit in there. All right, let's try. Let's try the Flexi-Majig from our whatchamacallit. I am full of words. Okay. These rarely go well, so, but whatever. No, so the front of the, yeah, this isn't gonna work right. All right, one moment, please. Let me go grab a more different tool. So it's just that the slots for the drives are, the cutouts are narrower than the drive, so I can't slide it backwards. Ow. Okay. This. All right, let's try this. Yeah, that's not going to end well. Oh, that's annoying. I really don't want to take the CRT out just to take out a screw. That's stupid. Okay. Let's do this the 8-bit guy way. Let's do this wrong. We're not going to get the Dremel. I'm just going to get some vice grips. There we go. Ask ChatGPT first. Oh, that's great. I love it. So the vice grips worked. It's okay, everyone. You can relax now. You can relax now. They broke it loose. Okay. There we go. Wow. Okay, so little spider guy. You see that little spider guy in there? That was the source of our problems. So we got a single-sided drive. Obviously, we knew that because we flipped a floppy disk over. Oh. One thing that we can see there. Look at that. That is some crustiness. Right next to a cap. Do we got a leaky floppy drive cap? How weird would that be? Oh. Yeah, so let's lubricate our stepper and we'll clean our read head and see if that does it. Okay. So this is a Tech, oh look at that, it's an SSD. No, it's a Tech SSDD 1/2 high floppy 326. Oh, from 1984. All right, so I was a little wrong about the date. So we're just gonna work this a little bit. Nope, and Richard Waters is telling us that some of them have very bad caps, and then actually looking over here, this one's also leaky. And this one. So it does appear that we have a floppy drive with bad caps. Just also pointing out, this little jumper block is for the terminating resistor pack. It is on the last drive on that one. And so, yeah. This one's set to DS0. The other one should be set to DS1. Yep. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to recap a floppy drive. Let's see if we can do that real quick. I don't know if I have all the ones for this or not. Again, we will rest our floppy on our CRT because, you know, that'll go well. You out, you little cable. Pop you out, you little cable. Make sure to do this right next to your CRT so that you're sure when you drop things, it will bust it. Okay. Good luck on your errand, Trina. All right, so what do we got here? This one is a 10 microfarad 16 volt. This one is a 10 microfarad 16 volt. This one, 47 microfarad 16 volt. 47 microfarad 16 volt. And 100 microfarad 6.3 volts. I think I have all these. William and Carol, welcome. My chiropractor thinks cracking a neck is a good thing. Yeah, there's a lot of vintage computer enthusiasts that would have my neck if I crack this CRT. Yeah. Our solder's a little crusty. We got crusty solder. That's gonna slow us down. Ugh, what a mess. This is not good. I think I might need to ultrasonic this board. There's a lot of crust happening. Let's pull this one out. I don't think it's not real fishy. I think it's just because these things are so old. They've had a lot of time to evaporate. Let's see. Let's see. Let's zoom in a little bit. Look, now you can't tell that I'm working on the CRT. Add some fresh solder to these. Oof. Yeah. It's not real fishy, it's just crusty. I'm going real slow here because I do not want to tear any of these traces. Alright, so that one was 4716. That's a 1016. And this one should be another 1016. Ugh. Okay, so let me show you what we're looking at here, and I think that this is why we're gonna be done for today. So definitely cap leakage. Oops. Definitely cap leakage, and then you can see our PCB. Lots of green. Oh, we can go under the microscope and take a look at this. So you can see all of our nice corrosion. So I think we're basically done for today because I'm going to need to ultrasonic these boards. Get rid of that corrosion. Yeah, you can see it worked its way even over there. See, there's some green over there. So yeah, so what I do is I do a dilute vinegar. I can see it's going up that diode. I do a dilute vinegar, ultrasonic clean. Yeah, we got crusty solder. That's never a good thing. So we'll give this, yeah, look on the side of those resistors. Come on, there we go. Now you can see the color a little bit better. Yeah, it even worked its way all the way to the other side of this resistor. Can't tell if that's solder mask bubbling up. Yeah, I think it is. Look at that. There's some even all the way over there. Oh, because there was one here. Okay. Let's see. We still got two. Yep. Crust here. Crust here. Looks like this one's fine, but we'll replace it anyway. So yeah. Well, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take apart that other floppy, and I can already look inside there and see the same thing is happening on that one. So we'll take this apart, clean these boards up, recap it, and probably on Saturday's stream we'll come back, put all this stuff back together, and I'll do a little research on how to successfully boot up a Kaypro. Nope, not my face. There we go. Well, oh, okay. Let's look at the good stuff. Yeah, I think this isn't bad. This should be no problem. So we'll get this cleaned up and come back and give this another shot on Saturday. So I think we'll be fine. I can't believe that thing just powered on. The guy sold it to me as dead. I'm wondering if it was just because, like, maybe the brightness was turned down too low or something. But anyway, if anyone knows of an easy way to archive a whole lot of Kaypro II documents, please let me know. Converting them into useful file formats, even if it's a text document, that would be fine. But yeah, this thing looks pretty good overall. Aside from those floppies, I don't see much leakage in any other way. So yeah, I'll do a little bit more cleanup on this. And oh, yeah, Steve, you weren't here. So the person, look at this, memoirs. The person I bought this from said his dad ran a newspaper from this machine for years. So there's probably some very cool stuff. And from a paper standpoint, there are manuals, the kind of stuff you do get excited about. Look at that, Kaypro CPM, introduction to WordStar. This is not for this machine, but whatever. Word processing on the Kaypro. So I'm hoping to get these documents and be able to send these back to the family. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, we'll learn about the grease weasel. An old printer is the solution. William McCarroll, welcome. Yeah. Okay, so if you guys wouldn't mind hitting like, that would be super swell. If you don't want to hit like, that's fine too. But I want to thank you all for hanging out today. Monday morning is definitely a weird time for me to be streaming. Normally I'm streaming at Saturdays at noon. But it was a holiday, and Dave's Vintage Apple Tech is streaming at 11. So you definitely want to go over and see that, because that'll be a mishmash of wonderful people. And you always want to hang out with those wonderful people, even if it isn't a Sunday like normal. So yeah, check back in on Saturday, and we'll get this thing powered up, and maybe just maybe we will continue with the Commodore PC-20 project. I haven't mentioned this yet, but we got this booting before, and it stopped posting. And if I twist the board ever so slightly, it will post again. So what does that mean? It means we have a broken trace somewhere. And so I just got sick of this thing and had to put it aside. So maybe we'll work on that if it seems like things are gonna go smoothly with this Kaypro. But for most part, we'll get this Kaypro put back together next week. Yep, make sure to check out Dave's Vintage Apple Tech in shortly, and have a lovely week, y'all. And as we say here at the Big Bad Bench, if you're a trumper, go F yourself.